Since October 7, 2023, Israel has conducted a coordinated military effort to pacify the region of Gaza and its surrounding territories. Israel has been hard at work trying to defeat the threat of Hamas, who routinely hide amongst the civilian Palestinian population. Arguably the most impactful component of this effort has been Israel's devastating airstrikes that have destroyed a reported 102,000 buildings in Gaza as of July 2025. What's even more shocking than these numbers is the advanced technology employed by Israel during these strikes. It is well known that Israel uses some extremely advanced stealth fighters, including the futuristic F-35. But what many don't know is that this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Israeli bombing missions. Artificial intelligence is used when acquiring targets, and devastating 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs are dropped in order to decimate suspected Hamas headquarters. The destruction that has come as a result of these bombing missions has been nothing short of catastrophic. Some of the images that have surfaced in Gaza over the past 2 years will most likely have places in history textbooks. Therefore, we thought it would be important, as well as fascinating, to investigate and document some of the technology currently in use by the Israeli Air Force in their ongoing bombardment of the Gaza Strip. We would like to take a moment to say that this is not a political channel. The suffering of the Gazan population has been absolutely horrifying, as were the acts perpetrated by Hamas in October 2023. We do not think the suffering of innocent civilians is justifiable in any way, whether they be Israeli or Palestinian. All that being said, the use of such advanced and deadly technology in a region so densely packed with a civilian population does raise some important philosophical questions on what level of force is justified in different conflicts. With that out of the way, let's get into things. $85,000 tons of munitions have been dropped on Gaza as of mid-2025. For some perspective, this is more than the amount dropped on Dresden, Hamburg, and London combined during World War II. To analyze the technology used in this unprecedented bombing campaign, we decided to first look at how Israel distinguishes between civilian and military targets. This is where we introduce Hapsora, which translates to the gospel, an AI target acquisition platform that churns out bombing targets with surgical precision. Oh, well, with at least some precision. As one would expect, many details about this targeting platform are extremely classified, but it has been reported that the targeting system has helped the IDF build a database of thousands of suspected Hamas targets. First, surveillance data like drone or security camera footage is fed into the AI system. Then, Gospel uses machine learning to identify commonalities in the dataset that are related to military targets identified by human analysts. The system uses pattern matching to generate suggestions for potential military objectives, which mainly includes buildings and equipment, as well as the homes of suspected military personnel. This list of suggestions is typically magnitudes greater than the amount of potential targets that humans can generate. Aviv Kohavi, the former head of the Israeli Defense Force, has confirmed that their targeting division is powered by AI capabilities, and went on to say that when Gospel was used in Israel's 11-day war with Hamas in 2021, it was able to produce 100 targets a day, whereas human targeting analysts had only been able to produce 50 targets per year. It is clear that since the implementation of artificial intelligence, the list of potential targets in Gaza has increased drastically, raising some obvious concerns about the use of AI in life and death decision making. The IDF has responded to these concerns by stating that their AI makes sure as far as possible there will be no harm to non-involved civilians. We use an algorithm to evaluate how many civilians are remaining. It gives us a green, yellow, and red, like a traffic signal. It has been confirmed that the Gospel AI system does indeed report what sort of collateral damage can be expected in each airstrike, but experts in the field of AI have remained skeptical of the system's ability to prevent needless casualties. As one researcher pointed out, all one must do is look at the physical landscape of Gaza to see just how careful and precise the targeting system really is. The exact criteria that Gospel uses to determine if a building is a valid target has not yet been released. It should also be noted that before a building is officially designated as a target, a human Israeli commander is required to review the data, and the final green light is given by the human commander. While it is somewhat reassuring that a human is at least looking at the buildings before they are destroyed, Some have brought up the possibility of there being an automation bias, in which humans are more likely to agree with the destruction of a building if the AI system has already given its blessing. The use of artificial intelligence in the Israeli military doesn't stop with gospel. Lavender is another AI system that focuses on targeting individuals rather than buildings, through means that are also still unknown. Lavender has the ability to judge whether or not individuals had the characteristics of a Hamas militant. Just like gospel, Lavender requires a human to give the final approval before an individual is targeted. But what exactly is involved in this approval process is not known. One Israeli intelligence officer is quoted as saying, "I had zero added value as a human, apart from being a stamp of approval. It saved a lot of time." The use of Lavender was approved by the Israeli government when it demonstrated a 90% accuracy rating when analyzing a set of sample data. 90% accuracy isn't bad, potentially even better than the accuracy a human analyst could provide. But when one considers the many thousands of bombing missions conducted by Israel in the past couple of years, that remaining 10% error turns out to be a pretty significant number. Another Israeli intelligence officer responded to these concerns by saying that in wartime, you're willing to take the margin of error of using artificial intelligence. The official IDF statement on the issue has been that analysts must conduct independent examinations to verify that targets meet relevant definitions in accordance with international law. But when analysts themselves are quoted as saying that they would invest 20 seconds for each target and do dozens of them every day, it does raise some cause for concern. Some of these concerns have already been raised by international AI experts who make allegations that Israel specifically waits until targeted individuals are at their family homes before dropping bombs, as family homes are typically less fortified than military bunkers. Other critics have claimed that what is considered acceptable collateral damage for destruction is far too high, with some reports stating that 100 civilian casualties is considered an acceptable loss for the bombing of top-ranking Hamas officials. Philosophical questions about AI targeting systems aside, another piece of advanced technology used in Israeli airstrikes are the planes themselves, the most advanced of which is the legendary F-35 Lightning, or in Israel's case, the F-35I Adir model. Unlike the F-22 Raptor, the U.S. government does allow the F-35 to be exported to foreign nations. In Israel's case, they purchased the F-35I, which is a unique version that can accommodate Israel's electronic warfare systems. Israel became the first country to use the F-35 in combat in 2018 and continues to use them in the war in Gaza. F-35s are supersonic stealth strike fighters with some of the most advanced technology in the world. This is especially true for Israel's version of the F-35, which includes specially designed electronic warfare systems. Some other things that the craft sports include specialized fuel tanks that increase the operational range without the need for refueling, and enhanced communications with Israeli intelligence networks. If this doesn't already sound impressive, Israel has also been the first country to use the F-35 in what is called beast mode. Typically, F-35s store their bombs and missiles internally in order to reduce aerial drag and enhance stealth capabilities. When in beast mode, an F-35 is outfitted with additional external armaments that increase its attack power and mission effectiveness. So Israel has operated F-35s that have been specially outfitted with enhanced electronic warfare systems, communication systems, improved fuel tanks, and extra external munitions, meaning that Israel's F-35s can fly longer and hit harder than any strike craft in the world. Israeli F-35s have been recorded as flying 15,000 operational flight hours since October 2023. The exact armaments added onto F-35s when operated in beast mode are still a bit unclear, but one photo has shown an F-35I carrying 4 external 2,000-pound JDAM bombs. The operation of Israeli F-35s in this special configuration is especially relevant to the current conflict in Gaza. Having external weapons on the F-35 takes away from the craft's stealth capabilities, but these stealth capabilities aren't particularly needed when flying bombing missions over regions with little to no aerial defense systems, like Gaza. With the current war in Gaza, it's become clear that modern battlefronts are rapidly evolving. From the heavy usage of drones in Ukraine to artificial intelligence and beast mode F-35s in the Middle East, we can say with certainty that the future is already here, for better or worse. We will continue to observe the technology being used in today's wars, as the evolution of warfare over the past 100 years has been nothing short of mind-boggling.